Last month, something happened across this country that the Social Security Administration did not send a single press release about. Thousands of seniors woke up on their payment date in June and checked their bank accounts. The deposit was not there, not late, not delayed by a day, just gone, sitting frozen inside an SSA verification hold that nobody had warned them about, triggered by an identity rule that had been quietly tightening since early 2025. The Free Financial Advisor reported just weeks ago that the new SSA identity verification system is now causing payment delays for thousands of recipients, with some people waiting not days, but weeks before their frozen check gets released. Rent was due. Prescriptions needed filling, and the SSA's phone line could not fix it because the new rule specifically blocks phone-based changes, which is the exact thing most of those people tried first. That was June. July's payment cycle is now weeks away, and the same freeze is sitting in the system, waiting for the same group of people who still have not done the one thing that takes it off the table. I am going to show you exactly what is triggering these holds, which four groups are at risk before July's payday, and the 10-minute fix that permanently clears this for your account. Stay until the end, because the last thing I cover is what scammers are doing right now to exploit the confusion from this exact situation, and it is costing people their entire monthly check. If you are not subscribed yet, do that right now and turn on the bell. SSA rule changes are moving fast in 2026, and they are not being communicated to the people they affect. When something like June's payment freeze happens, this channel explains what triggered it and how to make sure it does not happen to you. Subscribe and let us get into it. Here is what happened and when. In March of 2025, the Social Security Administration announced a sweeping change to how it verifies who you are. For decades, if you needed to update your bank account, change where your check goes, or take care of almost anything related to your benefits, you could pick up the phone and call the SSA at 1-800-77-21213 and handle it that way. The person on the other end would ask you some questions, confirm your name and social security number and date of birth, and make the change. That era is over. As of April 14, 2025, the SSA stopped allowing phone-based identity verification for direct deposit changes and benefit claims. If you call now to change where your money goes, the representative will tell you that they cannot process that change over the phone. You have to do it online or come in person. Then, effective June 7, 2025, the SSA went one step further. They removed the old username and password login entirely from their website. The login you may have been using for years no longer works. The only two ways into your My Social Security account now are through login.gov or id.me. Those are federal identity verification platforms, and they require you to prove who you are with a photo ID and a facial scan before they let you in. If you have not made that switch yet, you are locked out of your own account right now, and that lockout is exactly what is causing the payment delays hitting people this summer. In April, a man in Tucson named Gerald tried to update his direct deposit after switching banks. He called the SSA like he had done for years. The representative told him the change could not be processed by phone. Gerald did not have a My Social Security account under the new system. He had been using the old username and password until it stopped working. He was told he needed to come into a field office in person or create an account online. He showed up at the field office the following week, only to be told the wait was 3 weeks out for an appointment. His July payment was processed to the old bank account that was already closed. His check bounced back into a federal hold. It took him 6 weeks and 2 in-person visits to resolve it. That story is not exceptional. Versions of it are showing up in retirement forms and SSA complaint threads across the country right now. Here's who this is hitting most directly. The first group is anyone who recently changed banks or is planning to before July. Under the old system, you could call and make that change in minutes. Under the new system, if your account is not verified, that update cannot go through, and a payment going to a closed or incorrect account number gets held in a processing queue, not automatically rerouted. The second group is anyone who has not logged into their My Social Security account since June 2025, which is when the old login system was shut down. If you go to SSA.gov right now and try to log in with the old username and password system, it will not work. You need a login.gov or id.me credential now. and if you have not set one up, you need to do it before July's payment cycle processes. The third group is anyone who recently moved and has not updated their address with the SSA. A mismatch between your address on file and the address associated with your bank account can trigger an identity flag under the new account verification service the SSA deployed, which checks your bank information in real time. The fourth group is paper check recipients who have not yet switched to direct deposit. The federal government formally began phasing out paper checks in January 2026. If you are still receiving a paper check and have not set up electronic payment, your payments can enter a pending status while the agency tries to route you to an electronic alternative. Now, let me explain why the SSA made these changes, because the reason matters for understanding how urgent this is for you. The SSA's own Office of the Inspector General conducted a review and found that in a 3-month window in late 2023, over 3,000 Social Security beneficiaries reported they did not receive their benefit payment. When the OIG dug in, they estimated that roughly 38% of those cases involved unauthorized direct deposit changes made by someone who had called the SSA's 800 number pretending to be the beneficiary. The estimated loss from that single quarter was $2.2 million in misdirected benefits. The OIG also found that the SSA had failed to appropriately verify the identities of over 25,000 callers before making direct deposit changes during a 1-year period. The SSA stated that approximately 40% of all direct deposit fraud runs through the phone channel. That is the number that drove this entire policy change. Someone calls in, gives your name and social security number and birthday, which scammers can buy for as little as a few dollars on the dark web, and the SSA changes where your money goes. By the time you realize what happened, the payment is already sitting in someone else's account. The new system is designed to stop that, but the rollout has also created a wave of legitimate beneficiaries whose payments are caught in verification holds while they try to figure out how to get into a system that now requires technology many of them have never used. Here's the 10-minute fix. Go to ssa.gov/myaccount. You will see two options when you get there: login.gov and id.me. Either one works. Login.gov is the government's own platform, slightly simpler for most people. ID.me is a private company contracted by the government, and it has a video call option if the self-service flow does not work for you. Pick one, click it, and follow the prompts. You will enter your email address and create a password. You will then go through identity verification, which means taking a photo of your state-issued ID and a short facial scan, either through your phone camera or your computer camera. ID.me's self-service path takes 5 to 10 minutes according to their own documentation. Login.gov runs on a similar timeline. Once that verification step is complete, you link the login.gov or ID.me account to your My Social Security profile, and you are in. From inside your account, you can verify your direct deposit information is correct, confirm the bank account number on file is current, check that your address matches, and confirm the SSA has a valid phone number or email to reach you if something triggers a flag. That is the whole thing. It is 10 minutes if your documents are handy and you do not hit any glitches. If you do not have a smartphone or computer, or if the online flow fails for any reason, there is an in-person path. The SSA expanded its in-person identity verification network through the United States Postal Service to approximately 18,000 locations as of 2026. You can also go directly to your local SSA field office. If you go in person, bring your Social Security card, a government-issued photo ID, such as a driver's license or passport, and if you have any recent correspondence from the SSA, bring that too. Call 1-800-772-1213 in advance and say Help Desk to schedule an appointment and avoid waiting. If you have a login.gov account and run into trouble with it specifically, you can reach their support line at 844-875-6446. I want to close with something you need to hear right now, because it is directly connected to everything this video just covered. Scammers know that the SSA just made changes that have millions of people confused. The SSA's Office of the Inspector General issued a warning in February of 2026 about a significant increase in government imposter scam emails pretending to provide access to your Social Security statement. The FTC received over 330,000 complaints involving government impersonation in 2025 alone, a 25% jump from the year before. Here is how the scam works in the current environment. You receive an email, a text, or a call telling you that your My Social Security account needs to be updated or your benefits will be frozen. The message creates urgency, mirrors the real change the SSA just made, and sends you to a fake website that looks exactly like SSA.gov. You enter your information, and within days, your direct deposit has been rerouted. The SSA will never contact you by phone, email, or text asking you to verify your identity or update your information. If you receive that kind of message, do not click anything. Go directly to SSA.gov in your browser, type it yourself, and log in from there. Report scam attempts to the SSA's fraud hotline at 1-800-269-0271. The window before July's payment cycle is short. If your account is not verified, if your bank information has changed, if you switch to a new bank and the old account is already closed, you need to do the 10-minute fix before that payment processes, or you will be spending weeks trying to get a frozen check released. Send this video to one person in your life who is collecting Social Security and is not comfortable with technology. Not because they need to become comfortable with it, but because 10 minutes with someone they trust sitting next to them is all it takes to make sure their July check lands where it is supposed to. That is what this channel is here to do. I will see you in the next one.